Welcome to the Tubig Podcast, where we
flow and we grow.
I'm your co-host, Roseanne Aragon.
I'm Day-Ching Quanco.
And I am Christy Pozo. And why are we here for this podcast? The purpose of this podcast, really, it's for us. It's therapy, but we realized that our own journey could probably be shared. And it happened in a restaurant one day when we realized that people around us were laughing and enjoying our conversation. So really, it's kind of a moment for us to be able to speak our truth and have you all come along for the ride. We hope you enjoy it. And that's kind of like the main reason why we do it. And so really, if we could kind of share that joy, I think that we would have achieved that purpose. So
for sure. If you joined us for the first episode, which is Life and Water, you'll have heard a bit of this from each of us. For me, really briefly, it's about also my children, something to leave behind, something for them to look into in the different phases of their lives, and hopefully it'll bring guidance to them as well as their friends and that next generation. So how about you, Bro?
You know, it's just trying to grow in life. And I think, you know, the theme water, it's tubig is the Filipino or Tagalog word for water. And it's just to flow and grow. I mean, like, you know, both of you are my mentors, like huge people I look up to. And I think we've all gone through quite a bit in our lives. And if that can provide, you know, the lessons from that, I know will provide and, you know, fill my cup, and maybe, you know, we can fill other people's cup, you know, as they listen. Plus, it's super fun to hang out, and our views are our own and not representative of any company or anyone we work for. And so just wanted to also put that disclaimer.
There's a more detailed disclaimer down in our description. So please have a look at that if you are concerned.
So Christy, I know you've got a lot of experience to share, talking about sharing here. You are a leader in the Filipino community for Fawns. You're also a co-author of Filipinos in Houston. Yes. And Ro, you too, an Emmy Award-winning journalist turned senior PR manager for a top 10 global company, and the co-founder of Unipro Chicago Midwest and Lumikha Filipino Art Showcase here for Unipro Texas. It's great that we're all here to do this and share experiences.
And also you too, Ate Dia is also, you'll hear Ate, which is the Filipino Tagalog word for older sister. So if I ever say Ate, you know what I'm referring to. But those of you who don't know, Ate Dia was the lead singer and main lyricist of Fuzz, a super popular Filipino-American original band that was featured on major TV news networks and also went nationwide for worldwide artists. And not to mention, she's a trailblazer in what is known as a historically male-dominated industry, where she made her way to the top as president, which I think is amazing. So, Ate, kudos to you. It's an honor to be with both of you here. And I'm glad we get to do the Tubig Podcast. So today's episode is love and lozenges. So you will get to that in a second. I mean, February brings this energy of love. We will dissect, you know, how love can be experienced, a closer look at relationships over time. And I've had a few of my own with my family, which I'll share. And I'm sure each of you have your own stories, as well as flu season. Who isn't sick? Actually, I'm struggling. I'm like, okay, we are not sick today, but we'll go over some of our top tips to stay healthy there. So
for sure.
You look so cute. How's everybody doing?
Thank you, Ro. So, yes. I am wearing a Filipino earrings that were given to me by a childhood friend. Her name is Pauline. She gave this to me last November, not 2 Novembers ago. But basically, it's Filipino brass.
It's so cute.
Thank you.
How do I get a pair of them?
Filipino, I know, right? I will get it from her.
Okay.
But it's Filipino brass with Filipino mother pearl and enamel. And what's really cool is that it really has like that indigenous feel, but also it's very modern.
It's so beautiful.
And I love your glasses. Oh, yeah. Thank you. This is, we joked about my alter ego. So if I start to say things, don't follow with my usual personality, then we've decided that my name is Kiki. When I had 2 pairs of glasses, I wasn't sure which one to wear.
The one with your personality shining.
I know.
Even if it is your alter ego.
here today?
I don't know. I got the Kiki glasses on today, so look out.
Okay, Kiki.
I know, all right? So, I don't know, but...
Yep. Before we get to
yeah.
this month's theme, we always want to start the podcast with a little bit of a discussion on what's happening right now.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, we like to talk about what's viral, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a timestamp for what's going on. So have you all heard about Bebot?
The Bebot trend is a TikTok-driven beauty transformation craze rooted in Filipino culture and early 2000s glam. Yes, I was alive back then. Inspired by the Black Eyed Peas 2006 song.
Yes, and the word Bebot, B-E-B-O-T itself, is Filipino slang for a fine, pretty woman, or babe, not
a Filipino baddie.
Yeah. The trend celebrates Pinay beauty, nostalgia, and confidence.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I'm just thinking I was just wearing that makeup last Thursday, so I don't know what y'all talk about in the 90s. I was like, I had the hoops on and everything, so it was just a Thursday for me. So
that's right. So speaking of the Black Eyed Peas, which is the song Bebot, it's by Apple. He's Filipino. So also wanted to mention that Patricio Ginelsa from Kid Heroes Production actually did the video and the editing and the directing
Patricio.
for the Black Eyed Peas Bebot song back in 2000.
We met in Chicago, Patricio, in case you don't know.
That's right.
Lumpia movie.
Yeah, and she mentioned Lumpia, which basically there's been 2 Lumpia films. The first one, my band Fuzz, actually, we had one of our songs featured in the soundtrack for Lumpia 1, which was called Brothers and Sisters. So wanted to, you know, kind of cue you up with Patricio Ginelsa with his work.
Lots of bebots in that movie.
That's right. And highlighting Filipino Americans already since 2006, baby.
All right.
And beyond. And, you know, there's a lot of TikTok, you know, influencers who are really sharing about what this look looks like. And essentially, so going back to Bebot, like, what is the Bebot Filipino baddie look? I mean, it is, you know, like icy, like eyeshadow. It's the thin eyebrow look of 2006.
The matte look.
I know you had a picture, or we're going to find it. Like, you definitely
had looks. I mean, I had big hair.
We need a picture of you,
I had hair. I had the hair, and, you know, it's just, you know, voluptuousness and brownness.
We got to show a picture of some of the examples.
Bronzing.
Yeah, bronzing. Speaking of brownness, I love the fact that it's really putting the redefinition of beauty and basically saying, yeah, we honor our brown tone and we're not. Yeah,
this is clapping.
Yes,
is that what that is?
Clapping.
Okay.
Yes, when
and kudos to Filipino influenced Filipino American Filipinos all over the place, you know, highlighting this trend, but also our brothers and sisters all over the world.
Thank you, influencers.
They're all jumping in on it, and it's just so nice for our young ones to know that they are beautiful too, and we don't have to subscribe.
It's beautiful to be
right. Exactly.
But subscribe to one definition of beauty.
And multiple, that beauty can be a lot of things. Cause, you know, growing up, I know my, you know, there's always that pressure in Filipino culture, like, oh, you can't be in the sun, like you can't be dark. And yeah, I just think it's so great to see beauty of all shades celebrated.
Do let us know in the comments.
What do you think of the Bebot trend?
What do you think of Bebot trend?
If you haven't heard of it, check it out.
Shout out to Apple the app.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know, probably clip in some of his music here. I did get to see it live. Yes, I saw him live at a Fonz event, believe it or not. Yeah, so. And he did it was the White House Initiative of Asian Americans, the National Pacific Islanders, and he was like right there on stage, and you know, I appreciated that he was celebrated, but he celebrated the Bebot as well that day. Everybody was just, and then everybody was like, "Sige," you know. So it was just, I know.
Yeah, and if you watch the video, it really highlights like our Filipino culture. I mean, they had like a grandpa in his.
Bernie was getting down too, though.
Yeah. Oh man, exactly. So awesome. Yep. Just like this trend.
Exactly.
Okay, that was a good one. Thanks, Auntie.
The official topic.
Okay, so now our official topic. So going into the theme for this month, it's love and lozenges. So February is the season of love of all kinds, appreciating it, rekindling it, analyzing it, and owning your own independence. Shout out to my independent single ladies and men.
Right?
And all the Galentine's days. I mean, I think I went to more Galentine's than actual Valentine's events.
I love Galentine's.
Yes.
You know,
I took my daughter's friends out for a shopping for, I was their chaperone. Actually, Carla, we made it our date. Basically, we were chaperoning them, and I mean, they're 12.
and they're all at Sephora.
Already doing, I know, exactly. And they're already, into this Galentine's thing, and which we love because it's kind of like, it doesn't have to be about that.
Yeah.
Time. It's about, friendships and
I gave roses to everybody, and I
Yeah.
learned a
You
little.
sure
I learned a
did.
little mahjong too.
yeah.
Oh.
So,
Oh my gosh.
to be continued.
That gets addicting too.
I know.
I loved our roses.
And that's why I didn't play it, because my grandpa just, he went crazy.
Oh
you know.
man, my grandparents were like,
know.
about the mahjong too.
I played twice and I bought a set. I got all of it. I'm a professional now.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
There's two different kinds
I
of.
think I am a
There's Filipino
professional.
mahjong and then so
Yeah,
there's
the-
two different
the
ways to play.
serious mahjong.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so love and lozenges.
Yeah, love and lozenges. And, to start us off, I wanted to ask, each of you a question. And so I'll have some questions to help us dissect this and, we will flow and we will grow together. So the first question is, what is one instance of love you've seen or experienced that has surprised you and why? And I don't want to go to first this time. So
Okay. You want me to go first?
yes, please do.
And I thought about it. It's, I would have to say the love of in-laws.
Oh my gosh, that is so true.
Yeah.
I
So,
just spend time with my in-law and I'm like, my in-laws and I'm like, I love my mom and dad,
I mean, you don't think about it, when you marry into a family, it's, so there are some families, Filipinos, you get brought into the whole tribe. But when you're in an interracial marriage, like I am, and it's not kind of like the same level, right? As a Filipino family, just.
Filipinos, like, we're very
They, like-
tribal. Like, it's
Yeah,
like,
they absorb every ounce of you. And, you kind of have to find a happy medium.
even if you're not really family, you become family.
Right. I mean, right. So my
Like, your family, your family, your family.
Right.
Who's your real family?
But my mother-in-law, her partner passed about last December, and it's it was tough, but it was really a lesson in he was I didn't think about it, but he was always like kind of like the grandfather my kids would visit. I mean, they weren't officially married, but they were together like almost 30 years.
Wow.
Might as well. And my kids aren't even 30 years old. So, their whole life they'd known him and his presence there. And so, I had to kind of be cognizant of the fact that, when he parted. And my mother-in-law is such a feisty woman, but she's always optimistic. But I know, like, when it quiets down, I had to make sure to keep paying attention. But then also, I think my husband was really sick last month as well. And, he's not a very religious person, but he actually said, "Can your mom pray for me?" Because he was really worried because he had not, we're no spring chickens anymore and you don't exactly jump back. And so, and then, he actually got very emotional like later in the night. I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I think she's praying for me right now. I can feel it."
God.
Yeah, I know. Like, but he would
connection
never
is
say
deep.
things like that. But he's like, "I can feel her right now." So to me, I think that kind of took me a little bit aback, because usually I kind of separate the two families and I only bring them in certain comfortable situations.
Yeah.
But when it is, in sickness and in health, it's actually also with your whole family.
Yeah.
So
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like he could feel that
he
prayer
was- yeah.
within his
But
family.
he
was
had a little
happening.
bit of, he was having such a struggle to breathe because of the allergies and what, he's still kind of not 100% yet, but it was really bad because he couldn't sleep. Imagine if you weren't able to sleep for 2 weeks
Gosh.
and only 2-hour intervals, you're going to go nuts. So, but what about you guys? Please, let's,
I think that's a natural transition to mine, which is, speaking about like in sickness and in health, one instance of love that surprised me and really taught me something in a profound way and I got permission to share this from my mom. But, as you both know, my mom was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. And I was just floored by her strength and just how her love, brought all of us through it. But also my dad, and just seeing him in such a different capacity really just become her ultimate partner. Helping her brush her teeth, being there my dad doesn't cook. Well, he learned how to cook for her. He warmed up every single meal of hers because, my mom she's a warrior, first of all. And I'm like, dang, I have that survival in my genes. She was a fighter. And I just look at her, I'm in awe of her strength and her leadership. Mm-hmm. But I was also in awe of my dad because he really stepped up. And I'm used to them being, mom and dad, but just to see my mom in such a vulnerable state, because, to be very candid, she was really, she couldn't do a lot of things during chemo, of course, and we protected her, and just to see her in a more vulnerable state, and my dad just helping her, even just drink, help her. He held her hand. We were at the hospital, and my mom just got out of her double mastectomy surgery. And my dad literally held her hand, and the doctor was like, he needs to move back. And he moved back, but he just kept holding her hand and looking at her the entire time. And I was just moved. And I thought,
have you seen When Life Gives You Tangerines yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God. Oh.
Are we going to cry?
It's all crying. Yeah. K-drama, but it's beautiful. Yeah. It has Park Bo-gum, and he's just, I love he is just one of the top actors. He is. But then, the amazing cast, it was very well written, and, I hope it wins awards, but it's kind of this similar, caring that happens, the tenderness that maybe we don't see as the children.
Yeah.
Well, and the hand holding and not letting go. Mm-hmm. That's such a, it's so simple, but it's the most powerful, right? Because it's that feeling of,
my dad's,
you're not alone.
Yeah, but it's an intimacy that you see when I have to think about when my kids see me and my husband hold hands. It's you're sending messages, and as a child, I don't know if you see your parents being affectionate like that, or him showing tenderness like that.
Yeah, we're a little bit, our parents don't show a lot of PDA, but I also know my parents' tendencies, and my dad is one to always listen to the rules. He's a man by the book. And the doctors were like, he needs to move back. And he was like, okay, but I'm still here, you can't detach me from my wife, try.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it's very the strength. But for you, Dea, too, this such a beautiful story as well. So
it's nice to be reminded of these different versions of love, right? Different expressions of it. For me, what was surprising, and when it's just like anything. It's easy to take it for granted until we talk about it like this, right?
Yeah.
So I do want to give a lot of kudos to both, and not to leave my wonderful, beautiful, phenomenal daughter out, but I do want to give really great credit to my husband Carlos and to my and to my son Miro, because by the time they met, Miro was already turning 14. I was a single mom for quite some time, right? And so, in fact, I thought I wasn't going to get married anymore, right? Because I defined for myself, and when I say this, it's a personal decision, right? And I defined for myself that if I were to marry, it's not just for me, it's also for my son, because I was a single mom, and he is part of me. And the surprise is that Carlos genuinely loved and folded Miro in as his son.
I could totally see that.
Right? And Miro genuinely folded him in as a father.
Yeah.
Right? And this is not...
Were you worried about it? That's a good question.
Thank you for asking. I don't think I would have entertained Carlos on a longer kind of dynamic, right? Because for me, it was like every time I, met people, Miro was pretty much the first
filter in your head.
person I'm talking about.
He was
right?
your priority.
Yeah. And if there's no interest, if I'm not seeing the interest,
Right.
not about me, but about him, then that was already
That was your filter.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's important. I mean, they need to be able to hug that part of your life that you keep so close. And if they, that's a filter.
Yeah.
He is your whole person. He's part of you.
And again, I want to stress that that was my personal decision, that was something that I wanted. And, it's still, when I meditate on that and think about it till today, it's very humbling because, I want to give credit for the step parents out there and the step children.
Yeah.
It's part of our modern existence, right? Is to have different types of setup when it comes to your nuclear family, and to truly bring these people in who are not blood, but basically say, who cares? Like, you are my family and I will love you.
Yeah.
So
it's like such an act of love to fully love someone in all parts of their lives and fully love the people that's in their life. And like huge, shout out to all of the step parents out there because, I can imagine for Miro, like that's just such a huge signal it sends to him as a man, looking up to his father, looking up to his stepfather to say like, oh, this is someone who is welcoming all parts of my mom's life, and that includes me and loves me fully. I can imagine it's just makes such an impact on Miro, your son.
For sure. And it's loving him for him as an individual.
Yeah.
Right.
And not just because they're connected to you.
That's right. And I mean, they have their own world, like they talk and they have their own, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And they're like, nothing, and by the way, I cherish that.
When I knew this, when I really got that impression and I loved it was when I went on vacation with y'all we went to the lake and Miro and your son, it's okay if I name him.
Of course,
okay.
Yes.
Your son Miro was not there, and Kuya Carlos, Kuya means older brother, was like, oh man, I just miss Miro. Like he usually has a joke, like all these jokes, like just miss his personality here. And you could tell he truly missed Miro being there, and that really had an impression on me. Like he loves your son, and it's obviously Miro is both of your son, and that touched me.
You never know how the dynamic might be.
That's right. And because of that, of course, Emma always saw Miro around, but it's like she didn't even know, like for number of years, that she was like,
not
what?
full.
I mean, we had to wait. Obviously, we had to get a little bit more mature, but she was really like, wait, what? What's going on here? But and
my mom existed before.
Yeah. No, but ladies, thank you for sharing all that because, and also, also wanted to mention, I recently I used to work at a lumber store called Stallman's. And
we all know Stallman's.
We're all learning.
I have bought wood at Stallman's.
the one that's been replaced by the Porsche.
Yes. On the intersection of Shepherd and 59.
Right at the corner.
Exactly. And my kids are like, I know you've all.
I own
like a zillion times.
I own a lot of tools. You may not know this, but I am a handy
There's
person.
so much we're learning about Auntie Christy during this whole thing. Like I'm like,
I own a house
she's like
somewhere in this neighborhood. I own an very old house, so you have to learn drywall and stuff like that.
Exactly. So Stallman Lumber, they still have one in Stockford, and recently, because I haven't seen these guys, like, I used to work there when I was in college.
Right.
And I walked in and I looked for this gentleman named Eddie, who was in management. And, they're all still there. They're so awesome. And so I walk in and I'm like, is Eddie here? And they're like, yeah, he's the back. He walks out and he, anyway. one of the things I asked him is, I said, how are things? And he says, I'm good. Been married for 50 years.
Wow.
And I said to him, Eddie, I know people say this all the time, but like, what's your advice, right? And he says, Dea, of course he mentioned just prayer and going into your spirituality, when it comes to love. But also he said, a lot of people think they go into marriage and it's like, how is this, what is this for me? And he goes, actually, it's knowing that you're going into it to give more love.
Wow.
You're supposed to walk into this going, I've chosen my person that I'm going to give more love to.
That it grows.
And ideally, obviously, you've got the other person looking at you saying the same thing. And that's where
I love that.
That's where the fulfillment comes from, right?
This is a natural transition to the other question.
Yes.
So you can pick between two because this is real talk. One of the questions is, what's advice that you have to give, to those who are working on their relationships or those who are looking for love. And the second question as an option is, how do you keep things spicy? And I know that was a fun one that we talked about in planning. So. Okay, so advice. So your advice to Dia was that that was the advice from your coworker, your former coworker, that you need to go into marriage really thinking that you're there to give more love.
Yes,
that's amazing.
Yes. And that's from Eddie. I just learned that recently.
Eddie,
credit to Eddie.
And for mine, I think it's one point I wanted to share about what I took away from my parents' love is that love changes over time, and it's an evolving, alive thing. And really kind of putting a bow on the story that I had with my parents is that just seeing their love go from they would tell me about their courting phases, and then their marriage phases, and then of course every couple there were the hard phases, and just being able to see this shift, and it really made me realize that in life, in love, it is an evolving, alive thing that changes and adapts and grows. And it can grow in many directions, but as long as you're growing in the same direction, whatever it is beautiful. My parents, I wouldn't say that they have the perfect marriage on the planet, blessed by Jesus, I would say that their marriage is such a great, beautiful marriage. And, even with imperfections, the love has shifted and changed to be something so beautiful and so inspiring. So I'll just use that as my advice since I've only been married for a few years, 3 or 4 years. Oh gosh, I'm terrible with the math. Love you, Brian. That's my advice since I'm a newlywed-ish, but yes, so that's it. What about you, Ate?
Oh my gosh.
And you can pick between both. You can do how to keep things spicy.
So I've been married for quite some time now, over almost, when will be our 25th year?
Oh my gosh.
Next year, right? So almost.
We got to do something. 25th.
I mean, I think it's just, I don't know. I think, you guys said something interesting that earlier on when you talked about seeing a different light of your dad, and aside as children, you don't see. But I think also your partner, or your spouses, your husband, or what have you. I think the same thing happens.
Yeah.
Because my husband surprises me all the time. Just when I think I have known every brain cell of this person, every square inch of his body, right? Yeah. Stop. The guy surprises me because we're friends. When we first met, that's when we met. We were just really good friends, and honestly, I didn't think he was the type I would go for because he was just too nice, but wasn't a bad boy enough.
You were working on a newspaper.
Yeah, right. I was working. I was
another thing to learn about.
Right,
Christy.
right.
She was a journalist too.
Right, I'm in corporate now, but I mean, I was to make it through college. I ran a newspaper, and then shout out to University of Houston downtown. The Dateline. We were the Dateline. and that's, but we didn't date while I was at the date line. But it was years later when we ran into each other and our lives just sort of meandered back into each other. But I look at him sometimes, I'm like, how in the heck did we meet? Because we were constantly, even in our life now, he's a night owl. I can be a morning person. Our ships are always passing in the night. I'm like,
and you're busy, and I know he's busy. He has his own company.
we're both very busy. And then, but at the end of the day, it's like, we always take time for date night.
Yeah.
I always look at, I was like, we have to take time. And date night isn't always romantic.
Yeah.
Date night is a minute to look each other in the eye because you haven't had time to argue sometimes.
This is interesting. So it doesn't mean going out.
Right. Sometimes, or, it's, or reminding him that you reminded him earlier in the week that, the kids will be out. You just sort of, when you've been together that long, you have to kind of time things, right? Maybe I'm getting into the other part of the question that you had.
Of both.
Yeah, it is a blend of both. I'm learning. Right. See, and we're still learning. How many years have we been married?
Yeah.
You
longer, so I'm looking to you.
But you know what? It's gone by so fast. I look at my kids and they're like adults now, and I'm just like, and we were just talking about what do we want for the next phase of our life? And we thought about it. We're like, maybe we should leave the house and move out. And the kids can
bye, ditching you. I'm just kidding.
The house is paid off. You guys, and I kind of looked at my son. I was like, man, why don't you just live with your sister? Me and your dad are just going to move out. He's like, yeah. Andrea's like, yeah, can we just be together now? Cause I'm done. Like, it's their turn to like, so it was just kind of funny. Like, we were always, cause we got married so quickly for other reasons for another episode. But, oh my gosh. We're always looking for the honeymoon, right? Because we never had time. Yes. So, and people are like, you're so busy. How do you have time to keep it spicy? And I'm just like, well, I don't know. It's just, he's such a fun and interesting person.
Yeah.
And I always see him that way.
Compliments.
But I see him that way. I'm always fascinated by what the heck is going to come out of this guy's mouth today. Because I can see his brain constantly going. Yeah. And I guess maybe I'm so interested in him. I want to read everything about him. I want to just eat him up in whatever is going on. What's going on with this guy? Like, what, I don't know what he thinks about me. I honestly don't know if I'm that interested.
I'm sure he's mesmerized. It's so cute.
But I mean, I don't know. But, just when I think he's being very serious, he'll crack a joke. And let me tell you, when you have kids, you will clone them. You clone the husband. Just when you thought the pun was cute on the first date, and then you have kids, almost you've multiplied. The love does not just grow; it multiplies in your children, all the good and the bad, and the funny, and the not so. But I guess that's what it is. I mean, if you're looking for love, sometimes it just you have to kind of listen for it too. If it is something you want out there, it's sometimes like he was just. For me, a guy I worked with, and I did not see it in him until somebody told me the other day, are you sure? You guys seem to get along. And I'm like, yeah, but he's just a friend. I go, well, you know what? Why don't you have a friend? You should be friends with somebody you're going to spend a long time with if you decide.
Totally agree. Brian and I are besties. And like, it's kind of like with you and Kuya Andre, where it's like, you two are such amazing compliments. Like you are around and like bubbly and talking to everyone. And Kuya Andre is like the steady, like Brian is totally that for me. Like he is.
At home, I don't get a word in.
Really?
I'm just like, the house is his stage. Yeah. He'll probably die if I told you all that.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
We're so unfiltered.
Yeah, I know, right.
Sometimes too, it's just like your friends who know you well when you're dating someone.
That's good signal to take.
Right? I mean, of course, as we go through life, friendships shift too. So, but basically like, people that you do trust their judgment, right? Because like when I first started dating Carlos, I had gotten to that like part in my dating life where, I mean, I was like saying I was open to it, obviously I was going on dates, but somewhere in the back of my mind, I was kind of closed up, probably a little bit frustrated, that the right person hasn't come yet or whatever it might be, right? Like, it's like sometimes we're unaware of like some of the blocks. And my friend from work, Juliana, she
You're just shouting out everybody.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
You're just.
We can bleep it out if she's like.
join in the
Are there a lot of? There must be a lot of Julianas.
Well, they're gonna know who, like the industry folks are gonna know who. Yeah. But she used to ask me, she's like, "So what's going on with you?" You know, and never in like a overstepping kind of way, but like then I kind of I started talking about Carlos, and she was like, "Well, are you gonna take him seriously?" And I was like, "I don't know." I'm like,
we love you, Kuya.
Yeah, I didn't.
This
know
is the
him
story.
That well. This is that well. Yeah,
right.
So it was kind of just like, I don't know, But she was like, "Tell me about him." So then I kind of just like rattled out a few things, and she said to me, "Wait, what?" And she goes, "Tell me that again." And so I told her what I thought, what he was about, like very briefly, and she said, "I think you need to take this one more seriously."
Right? It's like we've been out of the dating game for too long.
It's been too long.
It was wild out there.
Somebody had to smack me dating.
Right?
It was.
But, I'll tell you, Andre and I did not date well at all.
Really?
We
I'm shocked by
sucked
that.
we were great at being married, but we sucked at dating.
Really?
Yeah, another time. That's going to take a minute.
We need one for that.
It's good to hear though, right?
Yeah.
That it's not like this,
Yeah.
like it's like the person walks in, you're like, hallelujah, you're it. It's not,
I almost didn't show up to my first date with Brian.
Right. What?
I almost didn't show up to my first date with Brian. Literally, I was so tired from work. I was working on this Apollo 13 story, or Apollo 11 story. And I literally said a prayer before. I was like, God, I'm so tired. Like, if you want me to go to this, give me a signal and let me know.
Give me energy.
Give me literally, because I had woken up from the nap I had been working on. And I was like, I just heard like, oh, just go. So then I messaged Brian and I was like, hey, I'm going to be 30 minutes late.
Oh, no.
But I made it.
And
he waited.
And
He did wait. And what I liked was that he was so honest and, just like the genuineness. Anyways, that could be a story for another day. But the man tells the truth and I really appreciate it. Like if I asked him something like, do you like this? He would really like, no. And I'm like, I love you. This is great. Yeah. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah. No. We're right, so.
Yes.
Okay. So my advice with Brian and I that I think we've learned as a growing team and a newly married couple, I mean, not newly married, but is really that like, we just make sure we fight on the same team. If we fight, we're always thinking about, that we have each other's best interests in heart and that like anything I say, it's not to like destroy a person or anything. It's literally to make us better. And I think that has been like the mindset change that has been so like helpful in our marriage is like, if we ever have a disagreement, it's like, we're always on the same team. We're fighting on the same side.
He's always on your side.
And I'm always on his side. When before, because, I had been a very strong, independent woman.
Side.
And I am still a very strong, independent woman. But I see the partnership very differently, where we're a team. Bebot. Filipino Betty, I think so. Thank you.
Yes, very so.
Yeah.
Okay. Any last thoughts?
No, that's a great thing to highlight because especially in those moments where you're just not, quite okay. It's just still remembering that we are on the same team. And again, credit to Carlos, but he reminds me of that. I mean, I'm quite a feisty Filipina.
Like I said, aren't we all? We're a bit. We got a bit.
So I got frustrated one time, and I was like telling Andre, I was like, I'm just gonna go move out.
Oh my god!
I'm not surprised.
And you know what he says?
I have words
he's
like that too.
And he's like, "Where are we going?"
In my car, and I was like, "Where am I going? I don't know where I'm going."
Yeah, Andre's like, "Where are we going?" I go, "I mean, I'm moving out." He goes, "No,
where are we going?
Where is it going to be? Because that's where I'm going to be."
I like that.
And he didn't.
Where are we going?
I don't know.
You're about to take off, so where are we going?
I know, and I was like,
meanwhile, I'm in my car. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going, but I guess I'm going back home. I love that profound question.
Yeah, no, I mean, but we should probably talk a little bit how we care for each other, maybe, because sometimes, sometimes it isn't always perfect. I mean, we could transition into
self-love.
Yeah, self-love, but also self-care.
love isn't only about your partner or your family, or like love is also
but love
within
takes
for
different
yourself.
forms that we heard. It's not always romantic. Before I came here, I was starving. And I tell you what, week-old sinigang is the best.
Oh, the best.
Andre made it too.
What?
We had like 2 vats. Yeah, he
man.
can make some Filipino food.
I'm like salivating right now.
I mean,
You say
it was
that.
so, you know, that
Sinigang's the
sour. He's like, no,
The sour
know.
soup.
Yes, it's made with tamarind. You know, shout out to Mamacitas if you can get the packet in the store for anybody who wants to try it. But that's how he shows his love. He loves to cook. And then when he was sick, I like to make a turmeric juice for him. And if you guys have ever gone to the grocery store, those turmeric shots are $5 a
They
shot.
are expensive.
It is so expensive.
Yes. So I don't know if you guys have some other secrets on how you guys are showing some healing, secrets during flu season.
For sure.
I sent you my trick.
Yes,
I sent you my trick.
She had this great dropper of amazing. What was it called? It was
So this is, I just want to make sure like
immunity.
it's not official medical advice, and please always consult your doctor before any of this.
Please reread the disclaimer again. We're not doctors.
Yeah. Yes, we're not doctors. Thank God I'm not a doctor.
These are just what we do,
Rose's
right?
husband is
This-
a doctor.
This was, and God knew he needed someone to save my life.
I know, right?
But anyways, okay, so this was my trick when I was reporting, and I couldn't get sick because you have deadlines. Like you cannot be sick, and you need to get better
that
fast.
sucks.
So
Yeah.
it's this droplet. It's called Rapid Immune Boost by Herb Farm. Again, not sponsored and not medical advice, so check with your doctor. But I just take a drop of that. You can get it at Whole Foods or online at Amazon. And
They did not pay us for this, by the way.
yeah. One droplet with like, I would take it with orange juice. It every day, like as you're starting to feel sick, it zaps it like that.
I definitely need to get that.
Rapid Immune Boost
when
by
you gave
Herb
it
Farm.
to me and I used it. Okay, by the way, I didn't.
It
know
doesn't taste good.
I didn't know you were supposed to mix it with juice because it was a little.
It's potent, okay?
tastes bad.
It's potent.
But I was like, it must be really good if it
natural.
tastes really bad.
It's all natural.
It's really bad. But I mean, my I had this like cough that wouldn't go away, and it turned out it was just allergies. But I had not had allergies that bad before.
Yeah.
But it took a turn.
Yeah.
So I was able to
See,
sleep.
that's good. I'm telling you, it zaps it like that. Like it really was so helpful to me. And I just, right at the sign of getting sick, I start doing those droplets.
Yeah.
I mean, it tastes like it don't taste good.
With juice.
With juice or anything sweet, anything that can.
Yeah, just kind of drown out the bed. For me, so when I used to sing and perform for the band, just like you, Ro, it's like, if you have a gig and you're sick, you're showing up.
Yeah, because I don't see how you could sing if you have allergies.
I mean, I've performed like
I tried singing in my car with allergies.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Right.
and I literally have a cold and my throat's kind of shot.
Yeah.
So, and this is kind of just not when I'm sick, but during the time when we used to perform all the time, is making salabat, which is
ginger.
Yes, it's
Ginger
fresh
tea.
ginger. You just like no skinning, just chop it up, put it in a
Hot water.
pan with water, boil it. The broth from that you use, and you put honey in it, and you just drink that.
Yep.
And it's also good for stomach aches. So this is a very Filipino, home cooked, like
Gargling with salt water is the other one.
definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
that one
But that
keeps
just
the
helps.
kills.
Keeps the germs at bay.
But it
yeah.
relieves you,
No, it definitely does. And again, the honey also, right? Because for allergies, that also, if it's local honey, it's going to alleviate that allergic.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you both for your amazing tips. Again, not medical advice, but certainly something I'll take and explore with me. But yes, oh my gosh, I can't believe this time has passed so far. That's all we have time for this second episode of our Too Big podcast.
One last quick, additional topic, just really quick that we want
Shout
to
outs
do.
and takeaways.
Oh, yes,
that's
You wanted to call it
Yeah.
baon or something like that? Baon.
Actually, it's water your garden.
Water your garden.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
All right, with the water
It's like
thing.
our baon,
Okay,
where we take
okay.
something home.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Okay.
We just kind of want to shout out there, different things. But I wanted to give some props to DJ Clara Rosa. She is a Filipina DJ based in the UK.
Clapping.
And
Clara.
she's an electronic DJ. that features kulintang, which
Okay.
are the brass percussive instruments from the Philippines, and she's folded that whole theme into her music.
Okay.
So actually, Carlos was the one who showed her to me.
Okay.
my
I have my shout outs.
I have someone.
I mean, this is so sad because I am obsessed with K-drama and BTS. And I just got my light stick holder today because I did not get the actual light stick. I don't know if y'all even know what I'm talking about, but in the concerts, there's these light sticks that coordinate with the Bluetooth. Yeah. And they sold out within like 30 minutes last weekend. And apparently I'm not going to tell you where they're going to go on sale because I will be first in line on March 20th when they do go on sale at a store nearby. So that is a shout out though to the company that got it delivered called Weavers, which is an app that actually hosts the celebrities and sells this type of merch. Shout out to Bangtan Sonyeondan, BTS.
This is such like a cathartic outlet.
I know, but I have actually been learning Korean, and so the instructor Hoon, I've been watching his videos, really just such all he wants to do is spread joy through the love of language, and he has been inspiring. Every day for 10 minutes, I will learn my Hangul. I should probably do that with Tagalog next. Sorry, but I grew up with Taglocano and was confused ever since. I mean, seriously, y'all, the word for rice is different in Ilocano than it is in Tagalog. Did y'all know that?
I'm Ilocano.
I didn't know that.
What is the Ilocano word for rice?
Inapoy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
In Tagalog, it means like on fire.
In the fire, right? On fire.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the fire, I guess you make
put
it.
rice under fire.
It's very indigenous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know. But does it sound anything like kanin? Kanin.
Kanin.
Yeah. Kanin. Inapoy. No root words, nothing.
No.
Okay, that's why it's so hard. But anyways. But what is it in Korean? Bap.
Oh yeah, bap. Like
gimbap. Yeah. See? Very easy. Mm-hmm. See? We all know what it was as soon as I said it. Anyways, on that note, I know. Let's go. Let's wrap this baby
Shout out
up.
to my niece and nephew for being half Korean and half Filipino. So we have some gimbap. Yeah.
Joyeux.
My two
Yes.
nephews and one niece is also Filipino Korean.
All right. Look at that. You know?
Of course, our kids are.
I got part French, German. It's all over the place.
Yeah,
so
Mira's Italian, German, Filipino.
There you go.
My daughter is 100% Filipino.
Yes.
That's what you think. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought I was 100%. My parents always told me, then all of a sudden I take a DNA test and I'm 13% Chinese. Okay.
We're all a little
There's
Chinese.
a little Chinese, yeah.
We have Filipino, Chinese, definitely
there.
Spanish in our family for sure.
Okay.
And that's something for probably we can totally dissect in another episode.
And our next episode, speaking of,
Yes.
what do we title that one? That one's coming up.
I think that one is overcoming challenges or overcoming hardships.
I guess maybe hopefully there was something you guys took from this. The Tubig Podcast, again, is a platform where we all learn, spur ideas, and just enjoy some conversations with our friends, both old and new. We'll be available on YouTube. And also follow us on Instagram, follow us, subscribe, click subscribe. Our goal is 1,000 followers by the end of the year. So hopefully we'll make that goal. But much love to you all on the Valentine's month and stay healthy out there. So
for sure.
Yes.
Please feel free to share the Tubig Podcast with your friends, your family. This is about community sharing. So please also let us know if there's any topics that are resonating with you that we're mentioning, and or if you have something in mind for us to actually talk about over here. We do want this conversation. Of course, we're enjoying it here amongst ourselves, but the reason why we've shared this is so that we can have that dialogue with you.
Mm-hmm. And there's also a lot that we can learn from you. So we really want to invite you in the conversation. This is definitely a 2, 3, 4, 5 many-way conversation, and we want to keep that discussion going. So thank you. Good night, good morning, and good afternoon from wherever you're joining us throughout the world.
Thank you.
Bye.
Salamat.